From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
The health department may not be able to send an inspector to your home if you're having a problem. I'm Kara Kenny with what they can do to help keep you safe.
Indigo's Red Line has officially been operating for a year. Working for you, we find out what's worked, what has not, and what's next for the bus service. A private security guard is charged in the murder of a 25-year-old woman at the housing complex that he patrolled. The new information now coming in.
We were completely shut down, and it was very scary at times to know what the future was going to hold.
A large local employer had to lay off hundreds of its workers. How the company managed to pull through and hire most of those people back. Thank you for watching the news at 6 on this Tuesday here on WRTV. I'm Amanda Starrentino. It's a cloudy evening around central Indiana, but Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is tracking the possibility of some much needed rain in the area. Kevin.
And in Lafayette, they did have a half-inch of rain, maybe a little more by now as more showers are rolling through. As far as our severe weather threat, it remains low. They would be isolated strong storms. More rain chances the next 2 days, setting up what will be a beautiful Labor Day weekend. Nothing happening in the metro area now. We'll go toward Lafayette, kind of the northwest quadrant of central Indiana. Heaviest storm now just east of Delphi. That'll move toward Logansport and Peru. You can see other areas between Delphi and Frankfort. Heavy downpours, some 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. The marginal risk is the lowest on the scale. These would be isolated thunderstorms, not covering a large area, and damaging wind would be the main threat. Amanda?
Many renters in central Indiana are having problems with their apartments and rental homes, but you might have to wait if you want a health inspector to come and check it out. WRTV Investigates finds out why this is happening and what you can do if this happens to you.
Typically, when you call the health department with a problem, they'll send an inspector out to look at it within about 3 days. But because of COVID-19 concerns, the Marion County Public Health Department is only sending an inspector if it's an emergency.
I just moved in.
Tina Kimball and her kids needed to move quickly because of mold problems at their last apartment. So Tina paid $1,700, which includes prorated rent, deposit, and fees, and moved into a 3-bedroom at Strawbridge Green Apartments.
I asked them if I can do a tour, a walkthrough, and they said because of COVID-19, it wasn't possible.
Tina says after moving in, she found mold and water damage throughout the apartment.
Imagine my horror to move somewhere else and right back into the same problem.
Tina says the apartment offered to give her a refund if she moves out, but she can't afford to move again.
So that kind of put me in a tough spot because I just given them $1,700 and plus, at least probably $1,000 for moving fees and movers and all that. So I can't come up with that type of money just all of a sudden again.
She reached out to WRTV Investigates after she says she called the health department, but they told her they couldn't come out because of COVID.
What do I do? Because you're the only guys that are going to be able to do anything.
The health department says while it is still taking complaints, they're only sending inspectors indoors if it's urgent.
The things that we identify as emergencies are going to be a lack of utilities if they have no running water or electricity, no hot water under some circumstances with children or elderly that need hot water. Those would be emergencies. Raw sewage backing up would be an emergency, and a lack of air conditioning under certain circumstances.
We reached out to the health department on Tina's behalf. About the same time, her hot water heater went out too. The health department did end up sending an inspector. They cited the landlord with 21 violations, including mold in several locations, cracks and holes in the walls, as well as a mice infestation. The health department still wants concerned tenants to call because they may be able to do an in-person inspection at a later date.
That we still are going to take every effort we have available to reach out to the individual that's responsible to fix the problems that they have. We have inspectors speaking with property managers, with maintenance individuals. We're offering the phone number for legal aid if that's another option.
Tina wants others to know when they call the health department, the agency may not be able to send someone unless it's an emergency. She's hoping her problems get fixed soon.
since they've been ordered to fix it, yeah, of course it gives me comfort. But, you know, a lot of times we'll just have to, you know, I'm just going to wait and see is what I'm going to say.
The health department emphasizes it is still doing outdoor inspections, including violations for trash. Working for you, Kara Kenny, WRTV.
We reached out to the apartment complex via phone and email, and they have not yet responded. They have to fix most of the violations by September 28th, and if they don't, they could face fines of up to $2,500. It has been 1 year since the Red Line buses first went into service on the streets of Indianapolis. The 2019 debut was met with buses packed with curious Hoosiers wanting to be part of the new rapid transit line's maiden voyage. While the year ahead had both overcrowded buses and eventually near empty buses due to COVID-19. WRTV's Cameron Riddle caught a bus with Indigo president and CEO Inez Evans looking back at the last year and ahead to the future.
What a year. From completing the first Red Line project, which is the first of 3 BRT projects for Indigo, completing the project under budget and ahead of schedule, being one of the largest BRT electric systems in the country, that's a lot to celebrate.
Like any project, some things work out better than planned, while others fall short of expectations. Evans shared with me the #1 letdown of the Red Line.
The buses. The buses have not lived up to our expectations, our contractual expectations of running 275 miles.
The 60-foot all-electric buses are built in California by bus manufacturer BYD. They're supposed to run the entire length of Route 90 for 8 to 10 hours a day on a single charge. Evans says during extreme weather, like freezing temperatures in the winter or 90 degrees in the dog days of summer, some of the buses are only running 120 to 130 miles on a charge. Evans says in some cases that only amounts to 3 hours of service.
The 275 that they had reached, or close to 275 in other places, have been in areas like California, Arizona. Those climate conditions are totally different than Indianapolis.
The federal grant, which in large part pays for the Red Line, requires all electric vehicles, or Indigo could lose out on millions of dollars from the federal government. Right now, Indigo is exploring buying buses from another manufacturer while still holding BYD to its promises. The bus troubles may lead some to ask, why pay for buses that can't get the job done?
We haven't paid for the buses. And until they meet the contractual obligation or come up with a solution that we will accept, we're not paying for them.
To make up for the shortfall, BYD is picking up the tab for en-route charging stations along the red and purple lines. It's part of several lessons learned from year one. Still ahead on WRTV, it's the journey of improvement. While the Red Line has hit some bumps, traffic bollards, and snags on rubber medians, the Red Line is spurring plenty of success, including economic growth, laying the groundwork for the purple and blue lines, and is creating more jobs in central Indiana. More on that tonight at 11 on WRTV. In Indianapolis, I'm Cameron Riddle, WRTV.
A security guard that was dressed and armed like police is now facing a murder charge. Melvin Eugene Hall is a security guard. Court documents say he shot Nitesha Williams 3 times on Friday in the 4100 block of Brentwood Drive. A witness says Williams never pointed her weapon at Hall and that Hall never gave any warnings before firing his gun. The Marion County prosecutor says witness statements and an autopsy allowed his office to file the murder charge.
It's the autopsy evidence, which told us how that body or how that bullet ultimately entered the victim's body and the path and trajectory that it took. That provided greater context, the witness statements that occurred, and really helped us zero in on what was the actual sequence of events.
Melvin Hall is expected to turn himself into police in 2017. Hall was cleared of charges of impersonating a police officer. Today's data shows fewer new COVID-19 cases, but an uptick in new deaths. The Indiana State Department of Health confirms an additional 16 COVID-19 deaths, which is an increase from yesterday. There are also 721 additional cases of the coronavirus, which is actually fewer additional cases than was reported yesterday. Since the pandemic began in March, 3,093 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. A total so far of 94,891 people in Indiana have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. 1,083,765 Hoosiers have been tested for COVID-19. About 8.8% of them tested positive for the virus. The Rebound Indiana is our initiative to show how people are working together to bounce back from the impacts of the pandemic. Today, we are highlighting one of the largest employers in Shelby County, Ryobi. They had to lay off more than 700 people because of slowed sales. WRTV's Megan Sanctorum found out how they pulled through and were able to bring back most of them.
Hundreds of people are now back at work after the Shelbyville plant had to close their doors for weeks due to the pandemic.
Production has resumed, and there is a new sense of normalcy here at Ryobi in Shelbyville. The company is the #1 automotive supplier for aluminum die castings. The business came to a halt earlier this year when sales and production shut down for 8 weeks. Around 750 people laid off. Leaders here say they helped employees file for unemployment, and they checked in on them regularly. They said they used their experience from 9/11 and the financial crisis of 2008 to plan for a recovery. Before the pandemic even started, they made a major push to decrease turnover, and they think that was part of what brought people back now.
Our retention increased significantly over the years, and I truly believe that's one of the things that carried us through here, was that those efforts that we put in place to help associates be comfortable here, to work here, and realize they got a home and a place to be.
They were able to offer almost all of their employees their jobs back. They say around 650 have accepted.
I think everyone's happy to be back to work, getting back to this new normal, and like I said, everybody's just relieved to know that we're getting through this. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Ryobi has taken care of me and my family for such a long time. We have weathered other storms previous to this, and we're going to continue to carry on.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, WRTV.
The company expects sales to continue to grow. They plan to hire 6 new employees this year. A new doggy daycare is opening on Indy's South Side. Next, we'll take you inside the new business and show you its mission to support adults with disabilities. The Colts are about ready to embark on a regular season unlike any before it. We take a closer look at the team as they get amped up for some real games. Hiring Hoosiers is our commitment to showing you career opportunities in our state so you can better your life. Back in February, pre-pandemic, we took you to Bargersville to this super funky, unique boutique called the Hope Gallery. It's a project run entirely by adults with disabilities through the Alex and Allie Foundation. Their team members are provided with job training and just a place to belong. And today is the grand opening of their second venture. WRTV's Lauren Casey got a behind-the-scenes look with the president of the foundation and mother, Jennifer Parker.
And then we have our kitchen where our team members will be making dog treats, homemade dog treats. We are opening up Happy Hounds,
a doggy daycare with some added flair.
Our cuddle room, which is where the dogs will have one-on-one time cuddling with one of our team members.
With a motto, crafted for man and his best friend.
Every dog deserves love, respect, and the opportunity to play. And that every person deserves love, respect, and the opportunity to work.
And a mission to give all people that chance.
Empower and enhance the lives of adults with developmental disabilities by providing them with work experiences out in the community.
To give them those skills and those opportunities that they can take then to another job.
Courtney Hack is the manager of Happy Hounds. This is her re-entry back to the workforce after being a stay-at-home mom, and she's ready to help these team members prove their worth to our community.
And so it's going to be really comforting as a client to get to see who's caring for your pet every day.
Your dog will be in the care of team members like Chelsea Davis.
I hope to interact with the dogs, snuggle with them, play with them.
And she has a message for her community.
We can work. We have that chance to go out and work.
The community wins because we need these individuals out and about in our community. And they provide our community with something that we don't see as often as we should.
Empathy, love, wholehearted acceptance.
I can tell you that you will not find a population being our team members that are more proud of what they do.
I take them walks, play after them, can cuddle them.
Alex Parker is Jennifer's son and part of the inspiration behind this entire organization.
I play with them. I mow the grass.
That grass is a 1-acre space for dogs to play. Team members are taking care of its upkeep in addition to their doggy daycare duties.
I like the dogs. They're so cute and they're so cuddly.
And dogs love Alex and his friends.
The animals don't expect them to say the right things all the time. They accept love.
A win-win-win all around for the team members, the dogs, and our community.
There's so many adults with a developmental disability that do not have the opportunity to work, to volunteer within our community. We are showing the world that they can do things. They need the right environment, they need a safe environment, they need training, and they blossom.
Working for you, Lauren Casey, WRTV.
And so now they need you. Happy Hounds Doggy Daycare opens today on Indy's South Side. You can find more information like hours and location by clicking on this story at hiringhoosiers.com. Kevin.
And Amanda, we've had measurable rainfall just once in the last 21 days in Indianapolis. We've got some downpours on radar. That gives us a chance here at seeing some rain. Northern portions of Putnam County, this just popping up some showers there, but the heaviest and most consistent rain has been anywhere from, say, Williamsport and Veedersburg all the way up toward Logansport. We'll zero in now eastern Carroll County. This passed through Delphi. Heavy rain just south of Logansport, west of Kokomo. This will move to the east, probably past 31, south of Peru toward Kokomo as well. As far as our rainfall potential, this is always tricky. You know how it works. You can get a half-inch of rain in 30 minutes from these thunderstorms, but at least all the models are showing measurable rainfall for Indianapolis and surrounding areas through tomorrow night. Temperatures, they'll be coolest at the end of the week. They'll never be warm. I mean, temperature tomorrow, 83, about the same as we get to Thursday. Certainly manageable for this time of the year. The humidity is still high, but we'll take the humidity out of the picture right in time for Labor Day weekend. The big change arrives Friday, sticks around for the weekend. With the lower humidity will come cooler temperatures. How about these lows? Temperatures down to 56 Saturday morning in Indianapolis, but we've got 3 mornings in a row with temperatures in the 50s and very low humidity. Temperatures noticeably cooler by the end of the work week, 77 on Friday. Chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. I think the chance will shift into the southern third of the state on Thursday. Your overall probability of rain tomorrow fluctuating between 20 and 40%. You can see right there hinting at 20%. The chance for showers and thunderstorms during the day tomorrow, just hit and miss through the day. I think a little better chance early in the day. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s for a high. Forecast unveiled next 2 days, that chance for thunderstorms. Then we've got 3 in a row that will be dry. Friday, Saturday, Sunday as we go into the Labor Day weekend, beautiful conditions. Slight chance of a thunderstorm on Labor Day itself, Monday with a high of 76. Amanda?
The countdown continues to week 1 of the NFL regular season. The Colts have maintained a steady agenda over the past 3 weeks. Training camp has been unlike any other, but getting ready for that first game feels very familiar. Brad Brown has a closer look.
As the calendar turns to September, the energy around the Colts starts to feel less like training camp and more like game time.
I give our players a lot of credit, with everything we've been through. Going through the pandemic and still going through that with all the social unrest that we've had and all that's meant and means to us and is ongoing and our battle and fight there.
Last week, the team took a day away from the field to continue discussions about racial injustice and social impact, standing together as one to make a bold statement. That unity will likely pay off on the field going forward.
I've gotten to really, that term goes, I want to go to war with my brothers. I want to go to war with my brothers. But actually taking that word and actually diving into what being somebody's brother means and how can we help our brother? How can we understand our brother?
On Saturday, the team held a second workout at Lucas Oil Stadium. Without any preseason games on the schedule, it was their only real chance to go through the game day routine. And a little offense versus defense scrimmage helped amp up the whole crew.
I thought with the lack of the preseason games that this was the best way to get it done. I think, Frank and the staff with the decision to come over here twice. Now we have one more kind of probably similar to a training camp week, and then it'll be game week. So it'll be here before we know it.
From the defense, a lot of confidence, a lot of conviction in this group, and just consistency. I think the defense has played well all camp, from the linebackers to the defensive backs, especially with our D-line. Just a fast, physical group and very confident group.
A couple of months ago, the entire season was an unknown. Now, with week 1 just a dozen days away, let the real routine begin.
When you're a player in that mode, you're just in the mode of tell me what to do and get me to the game. I want to play football. And so the players will handle it right. We'll set everything up to make it as easy as we can for the players and make it as seamless as we can, get them focused on the game. And then, we just follow the protocols that we're given.
With the Colts, Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.
Heaviest rain headed toward Peru, Logansport, and Kokomo to the north. Notice along Interstate 70 and just north, there are additional showers developing, so your chance for rain increases between now and 11 o'clock. Amanda?
Thank you for joining us for the news at 6. We'll be back here at 7.